Welcome back. I'm your host, Darnell Jackson. In this crypto report, we're going to be talking about Ethereum and Microsoft. But first, make sure you subscribe to your favorite channel on YouTube. Shout out to all the subscribers. This is going to be an interesting report. I'm going to be playing some video, but we're talking about Microsoft. Now I'm going to reveal my age and experience right now. I have been dealing with Microsoft since the 90s is when I first learned, and I happen to have that experience that matches Microsoft's growth. So I had a chance to literally experience this whole new platform that Microsoft created. It was called Visual Basic. But before I get into that, let's check out some headlines. We're talking about what is being reported right now by Crypto Globe. Microsoft is considering using Ethereum to combat piracy. And before we get into that, I want to jump over again and talk about Microsoft and how Microsoft and Ethereum have some similarities. The biggest thing that Microsoft did was they created a development platform. It wasn't just their operating system, it was their development platform so that people could create applications that would work on their operating system. So in this way, this is why Ethereum is very much like Microsoft. Before Microsoft, there was no platform for many different people all over the world to make applications. After Visual Basic, which you're seeing images of right now, and I'm just looking at images here on Google. These are images of the original Visual Basic application. Look how rudimentary these images look. Here's the packaging. Let's see what it looked like back in the day. What version is this? This is DOS. This is what it looked like on the screen. Let's go to a DOS screen. This is from Wikipedia. Microsoft Visual Basic. This was an application in the 90s, family. And it seems like, this was a huge deal. This was just as big of a deal as your fanciest application that you're using right now on Ethereum. So this is where I see it's like deja vu watching Ethereum's growth compared to what happened with Microsoft. And we know how the game was completely changed. Microsoft allowed so many companies to come in and create their own legacy applications using Visual Basic. And then of course we know that the technology continued to progress from there. So that's my first point. I wanted you to see the similarities between Microsoft and Ethereum. And so when you see a report like this article from Michael L. for Crypto Globe, when you see an article where Microsoft is considering to use Ethereum, in this use case is to combat privacy. But when you see an article, this makes a lot of sense because they're very similar. So the article, Microsoft, the software and personal computing giant behind the Windows and Xbox brand, has published a new research paper showing how Ethereum can be used to combat piracy. All right, let's jump over to Cointelegraph, which had this report. And Microsoft's Windows operating system have always been top performers. And he's talking about they want to establish anti-piracy measures. So they put out a paper that's titled Argus, a fully transparent incentive system for anti-piracy campaigns. So it's talking about Microsoft's new system relies on the transparency aspect of blockchain technology. Built on the Ethereum blockchain, Argus aims to provide a trustless incentive mechanism while protecting data collected from the open, anonymous population of piracy reporters. Here's a quote. "We see this as a distributed system problem," the paper stated. "In the implementation, we overcome a set of unavoidable obstacles to ensure security despite full transparency." Okay, so they want to use it for security. We know Microsoft doesn't have the best security reputation. Argus enables backtracing of pirated content to the source with a corresponding watermark algorithm, which is detailed in the paper, also named proof of leakage. Each report of leaked content involves an information hiding procedure. This way, no one but the informer can report the same watermarked copy without actually owning it. Okay, so this is probably one of those more boring technology efforts. However, a couple things to take away from this report. Number one, Microsoft is cozying up to Ethereum. You can check out my other video where I'm talking about Facebook and how they have basically chose Polkadot. So you can now see these big companies are starting to choose which cryptocurrency they are going to build with. So Mark Zuckerberg, he connected his development efforts with Polkadot. So it looks like Microsoft has already chosen Ethereum. So this has to be good news for you ETH investors. The way Ethereum has positioned itself is just like Microsoft. If you want to build an app right now, all of the biggest apps are on Ethereum right now, and there's a lot of competition, there's a lot of envy, but right now you cannot touch the ETH apps, and there's a lot of different people developing alternatives, just like there was during Microsoft's run. And there were even some better there were even better alternatives to Visual Basic, but they didn't have the distribution because Microsoft Windows was everywhere. It didn't matter that you could actually develop better programs on other platforms. What mattered was the fact that everybody was using Visual Basic. So that's kind of the situation that Ethereum is in right now. So I think if you are going to use an analogy to explain what Ethereum is, you have to compare it to Microsoft. It is a platform for development. And obviously, I think many people would argue that it's a better platform because it's not bound by the centralized control of Bill Gates. Speaking of Bill Gates, let's jump over to a video. I want you to see this video of Bill Gates demonstrating Visual Basic 1.0 back in the day. Check this out.
Windows 3.1 is how it enables you to do better things with tools. This morning we announced our Visual Basic product, and one of the things I like about this is it makes it possible for me, even with my limited time, to do fun Windows programming. I wrote a little application here. It's a little calendar application that lets you move around and see different dates. But right now, let's add a couple of neat little features to that. The way to do that is to take this form, which is the user interface, just go over and click on a button and go in and drag that down here. And now all I have to do to change the name of that is type in a little bit of text. Let's also create another button, so I'll click there again.
Drag and
then
drop
just
interface.
put this right here on the form.
This was all revolutionary.
And I'll call that plan B. Now in the past, pulling together a nice looking form like this and the code was quite complex. But in this tool, all I do is double click on the button and I get up a little window that lets me type in some simple code that will be executed when you click on that button.
So you can look at his platform, think about all of the different tools that developers have been talking about for Ethereum, all of the different methods for developing applications on the Ethereum blockchain. And you can kind of see and imagine where we were back in 91.
I'm using a macro to type that in so I don't make a typing mistake. Okay, there we have a nice little thing we call Plan A. Let's close that down and put some code behind this. And in this case, we'll also change some of the
Big
calendar
up Bill Gates.
display.
I want to thank you guys for liking this video.
Now all we have to do to test out that code and see if it works is to give the run command, and it's compiled up very, very quickly. And here we can see the application is running. If we want to move forward month by month, we just click here, or move back, or move forward a year at a time, move back a year at a time, or move it back to today's date. So that's pretty simple stuff. These new little buttons I've added, though, give us a really unique feature.
Where's Ethereum
right
going?
now, the holidays and
going back to 4,000?
weekends are displayed
break all-time
in a nice gray color, like we see Memorial Day right there. If you want to have a really hard work schedule, you just click on this Plan A button, and immediately all the weekends and even the holidays are turned into work days. And if you really, really fall behind, you click here on Plan B, and somehow we've added these unusual days.
Okay, now Bill Gates is over there changing the calendar with his application. So thanks again for liking this video. If you didn't like this video, make sure you go back and check out all my other videos, including the video about Mark Zuckerberg and Polkadot. Check out that video and some others. I bet you'll like those. If you don't like those either, then share them with somebody who will. Until tomorrow, 1.